Hi, in this video, I want to go over using Chat GPT with you for exploration of your research topic. I think this is a good way to utilize the artificial intelligence in the right way. Um, I've said this, I'll say it here as well. You should never be using Chat GPT or any AI technology to write your work. Any academic work should not be written by ChatGPT or any other AI driven tool. This would include Grammarly. Sometimes you can over edit something to the point where it's no longer your voice, no longer your writing. You've over edited it so many times that it's reading like someone else wrote it. So make sure that you don't misinterpret it, what this video is about. This is about me just helping you find some avenues to do some preliminary research for your research topic that you'll be using all semester. So one of the things I love about ChatGPT is that it kind of gives you some real-time information. Like you're not going to like a website or a professional organization website that doesn't exactly match. And anytime you start to do any kind of research, no matter what level, whether it's preliminary research or scholarly research, you always have to really make sure you have recent data, credible data, correct information, that kind of thing. One of the reasons I ask you to do this preliminary research is I want you to narrow your topic. And in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the risk of even starting with too much of a broad topic. And so we'll kind of have a discussion in this video about ways to utilize ChatGPT to help you narrow the topic before you go into the scholarly databases to find the actual research that you'll use for your assignments for this class. But this preliminary research stage is just to help you explore the topic, narrow your focus, and to get some general information from general sources, just like almost like a conversation online to discover a few things about your topic. So just as a reminder, I ask that you look at sustainability, technology, innovations, or best practices. So we're not going to look at topics that deal with performing the job. So this class is not, for instance, a nursing class. I'm not teaching you how to be a nurse. We're researching something within our field of study. So we don't want to research something about doing the job. So we want to avoid topics like that deal with pay, workload policies, burnout, suicide rates. So like a lot of students, they want to be a veterinarian, and then they see, oh, veterinarians have one of the highest rates of suicide. That is very unfortunate, but it just doesn't really fit within the space or what you're being asked to do for this class. That might be something you explore at a higher level once you would go into veterinary science. It might be part of a psychology class that vet students would take. But for this class, we're looking for something that you can argue, something that you can prove as a solution to an issue within the field. So I want to show you Chat GPT. This is all kind of new, and it's just a way to utilize this AI technology, but you're not going to copy and paste anything. You're just generating ideas. And also remember that Chat GPT is an algorithm. It is a computer machine technology that just basically pulls information from a lot of different sources and then compiles it for you. So they're just reaching out into the internet and pulling things in for you based on what you ask it to do. One of the things I like about ChatGPT is you can ask some conversational questions and it'll kind of give you some results. And then if you don't like it, you can tweak your question and it will kind of develop the ideas with you. So you can kind of sit here and it's like you're talking to a bot, like on some of the shopping sites or something where you're talking, asking questions about making an order or something. This is the same thing, but you're kind of ordering information. So I already got this started, and then I'll kind of show you some things. So I started off my inquiry, and so we're talking about inquiring about general topic, and then we're going to try to narrow it. So in the other video, I talked about things like, well, I call it Twitter in that video, but now they call it X, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can also look at podcasts or streaming devices for documentaries. You can go to Quora. I don't think I used Quora in that video, but any kind of information seeking social media popular site that you want to use for this beginning exploration of the topic, please use. I've had people use documentaries, podcasts, YouTube videos, TED Talks, Quora sites. Reddit's a good one. Reddit, you can see a lot of conversations about certain topics, and you can see what people really say about them. And then the oldies but goodies like Facebook, Instagram. Use TikTok. TikTok's a good one. A lot of times experts will go onto TikTok and they will, share a video. So this is not meant to be in-depth research. It's not meant to be scholarly research. It's meant to be inquiry into a possible topic. So as you can see up here, this was my first inquiry. I just said, help me find some research topics for a research project about the field of nursing in relation to, and then I gave them kind of the guidelines: sustainability, technology, innovations, and best practices. Not, and anytime you want to use the booleans, it's booleans. Booleans mean that you are manipulating the information, so you can put not and that kind of thing. So I said not anything to do with performing the job. So it gave me a long list, some little subcategories. And so it started off, and as I read through it, it seemed to be really pulling in the sustainability type of topics. So I went through and looked. One of the problems here initially is that I did not give a specific area of nursing. So we're going to practice with that as we continue. But here I just said nursing. And when we think of a field, like if you just say, I want to be an engineer, that really does not, in your search, in your general search, get you specific results, because engineering can be a lot of things. It can be mechanical, electrical, civil engineering, there's space engineering, there's just so many engineering fields. There are also like, I think there's like an environmental engineer. I'm trying to think of all the ones, but there's so many subcategories to engineering. If I just put in engineering, it's going to give me very general results. But I wanted to do this to show you like how you can start to manipulate it using Chat GPT. So we get some ideas here. I think if you do this kind of general search, just read through and see if anything gets your attention, something that you're like, oh, I would like to know more about that. Because remember, for 8 weeks, you're going to be researching this topic. So for 8 weeks, you could really get burnt out on a topic if you're not really interested in it. So I thought this was interesting. I liked this one, and this just kind of piqued my interest: the role of telemedicine in sustainable health care delivery. So there are a lot of controversies. Remember, we're trying to persuade, and in this class, you will be looking at both sides. You will pick a point of view that you will be proving, but you also have to include in your final paper, which is the proposal, you'll have to show the opposing viewpoint. You'll have to concede to something from the other side. So anything you look at, it needs to have two sides to it, and then you're kind of choosing the point of view that you want to prove. So this is a good start to maybe narrowing the topic. So sustainability with telemedicine, and probably some things that would come up with that, like the benefits. What can challenge a healthcare worker giving a diagnosis through telemedicine? So this would be, I'm sick, I make a phone call, and the person on the other end, or the video call, has to determine my level of health and sickness and what they need to do to care for me. A lot of debates center around effectiveness of telehealth. Is it effective, or is it just kind of pill pushing, like where they're just giving out a bunch of antibiotics, and maybe some of the people really don't have an infection because they haven't been fully examined. So we're seeing something that narrows there, but maybe this is still very broad. Here's some technology-driven innovations. Some of this, when I looked through it, was too broad for my liking. I think you need to get a little bit more narrow, but if you start off with broad, like with the telemedicine thing, then you can continue the search in the next phase. So anyway, impact of mobile health applications, waste reduction, these are all very general. Well, so I read through those and then I thought, oh, this is still not really, they really haven't given me a lot of great information. So then I just asked, because you're having a conversation with this bot, this AI situation, can I get more about best practices with nursing as well as technologies and innovations? Because I felt like they didn't really give me enough. They only really dealt with sustainability. So then they came through with some more things. Best practices for integrating technology. I would really like for you to steer clear of any education topics unless you're going to be a teacher or go into the education field. I really don't want you to research how to train nurses or how to educate nurses, the nursing shortage, anything like that. I want this to be more about patient care or more tangible, like not performing the job, but more tangible issues that happen within the field of study and then solutions for those. Here's some digital health innovations, robotics in nursing. This is a hot button topic, robotics. There's a lot of new technology with surgical techniques and things like that. This does solve a problem with reducing workload, which would solve the problem of the shortage of nursing. I really don't love that avenue, but you could probably save that topic, like make it be a better, more layered topic with the robotics. AI-powered decision support systems. This is very controversial because there are some AI-generated diagnosis technology that healthcare workers are using, and it's very controversial because some healthcare workers feel like it helps, and some would argue that the diagnosis isn't always accurate. So anyway, so we go in here, you might see something that you like or maybe not. A lot of this is so general, it's hard to really get a good read on a topic. But if you go broad like this, see what you get. 3D printing in nursing was pretty interesting, and that's for prosthetics, but you might not be interested in prosthetics. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to narrow the search to investigate solutions to issues with, and I'm just going to come up with watch me spell this wrong, anesthesia, nursing, dealing with solutions of I'm going to switch it up so it doesn't give me all sustainability. Technology, best practices, innovations, and sustainability. Okay, let's see so now I've thought, oh, well, I did all those searches and they were very general, but I really am very interested in being a certified anesthesiology nurse. Okay, so look at this. So now we're starting to get more narrow ideas, and all we're doing is trying to generate ideas. Once you do this with Chat GPT, you can take some of these narrowed ideas and then go into Google, go into YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, anywhere you want to go, and kind of search this more generalized idea. Sometimes if you go into Google, you'll get like a million possibilities of things you can look at. If you do this first, it's going to help narrow that search for the preliminary research in Google or YouTube or wherever you go. So here we see wearable technologies. That's pretty fascinating. Monitoring patients. I know these days, like in the old days, people would go for a sleep study and they would go sleep at the location and they would be monitored, or certain chronic ailments they would monitor, like say a heart issue, they would monitor it in a hospital or a doctor's office. These days, there are a lot of wearable devices that people can wear, like heart monitors. If someone's testing for sleep apnea or sleep issues, they will send the equipment home with the patient for a few days, and then they will monitor it. So you could argue that a certain type of machine was, making a difference, and it should be used more often. Here's AI and machine learning, sustainable practices with anesthesia care, eco-friendly anesthesia equipment. So that's kind of interesting. Best practices, telehealth, all sorts of things. So I was trying to think if I see anything that I want to continue. Automated. Okay. So let's say this is just an example. My interest is peaked here. Automated medication dispensing systems. I don't automatically know what that is. I'm not far along in my nursing education. I want to be a nurse, but I don't know. So I'm going to do a search down here. Now, Chat GPT will save all of these searches. So let's go down here. Include more specific information about how, and then I'm just going to copy and paste that in. Is it going to go? Oh, it didn't go. Enable. Okay, it didn't want me to copy and paste that. So now, okay. What was the thing I grabbed? I got to go back up and look. It doesn't matter. I'll use the non-opioid pain management technology. It's about how non-opioid pain management technologies solve an issue. Remember, have a conversation with Chat GPT. You're not going to be able to do this with all the search engines, but Chat GPT responds well. Be specific with types of procedures used post-surgery. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, see what it gives me. All right, this is where we're starting to get to something. And when you get to this type of thing, when you've inquired and narrowed, then you can go into Google. Then you can look for a video on YouTube. Then you can search further on Reddit to see what anesthesia nurses are discussing in this kind of area. So nerve blockers, that's really fascinating. Whenever you're researching, sometimes you'll recall something from your life. My dad in his late 80s had cancer. He had a tumor removed from his colon, and he was older. Older people don't do that great with anesthesia, and they don't do that great with pain medications if they're not used to taking them. My dad was on no prescription medication, so they were very concerned about him reacting to the opioids that they might give post-surgery. So what they did was they gave him an epidural, which is usually given to women giving birth to numb the pain in the abdomen or like below, like to their legs, so they don't have the pain during childbirth. And what they did with my dad is they gave him an epidural during surgery, and then he kept it in for, I think it was 2 days after surgery. So he did not have to take any pain medication because of his age. It helped him recover faster. It helped him walk, get up and down without the pain. So this sounds like something in that kind of category, the nerve blocking pain control. Okay. A network error. So I had a network error. So let me go. I'm just going to say, give me additional information on this. This morning, I'm going to stay logged out just so we can see it. Okay, patient-controlled non-opioid medications. PCA pumps. See, now we're starting to get more details by having a conversation on Chat GPT. And this is perfectly fine to do with your preliminary research. Just remember, anything you're getting from Chat GPT is being pulled from somewhere else. It's not vetted. We don't know the credibility. It is your responsibility to then go find some things in other areas to kind of back up this information and expand on this information. moving into next week and then on through the semester, you'll be taking whatever you find in the preliminary research stage and you'll be moving into the JCC databases, which you should have probably used in English 111. If you had me, you did use it in 111. And so then you'll take these ideas and then research with the peer-reviewed research and the credible research. But here we're just getting ideas. So I hope this kind of helps you see, like, here's some benefits of non-opioid patient, what do they call it? Patient something. Patient-controlled anesthesia. And then there's all sorts of great information in here. Post-surgery, different types of surgery. So look at this. Orthopedic surgery. So you could even argue that a certain orthopedic surgery benefits from this non-opioid patient-controlled anesthesia. And that's what we're looking for once we settle in on our research topic for the semester. Okay, now here's what I do when I use Chat GPT. I'm going to go through and I'm going to kind of just copy whatever I want. Like maybe I decided that those initial searches kind of didn't help me much. So I'm just going to copy this list. And then what I do is I copy it and then I go grab a Microsoft Word document and I just paste it in. And then I save that document so that when I go into the other preliminary research things, remember you have to have 5. And they have to all be different. So you could do a Chat GPT, a Google, a YouTube, professional organization, because that's required, and a Reddit. So I'm asking you to show me 5 places that you searched for the topic, but try not to make it so broad that by the end of the preliminary research, you don't really have anything significant, because you really want this to be a jump start to developing your topic further. This Chat GPT exercise will also help you when you're doing your discussion board where you're sharing your 3 ideas. So I hope this helps and gives you some tools and some ideas of how to develop your topic. All too often students go into that discussion board and they just put a lot of basic, non-committal information, and then I'm going to respond to everybody's post, but then for me to respond, I'm basically like I don't have a lot to respond to because they've given me such basic information and it's not narrowed enough. So hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck with your preliminary research. I can't wait to see what you come up with.